I know it can feel confusing when people say that you have to find yourself, you have to connect to the higher self, and you have to do all these things, you have to remember who you are. And a few years ago, I had no idea what people were talking about. And I was really reluctant to meditation or any spiritual practice because I was really caught up in the science based logic thing because it felt safe. It felt like the strictness of the rules felt like a safe container until I started to experiencing all these shadows coming up and these internal negative visions and all kinds of like horrible things. And that's actually when I turned to meditation. And now, about 3 years later, I can say that meditation is the tool to find yourself. Yeah, you can improve your focus and there's all kinds of benefits, but for me, meditation has been mostly about learning about myself, becoming more self-aware of my internal world and also of my external world. So, in a sense, I think that meditation is the only way you can really start to understand your own behavior and your own thoughts and what kind of person you actually are and what kind of person you want to be. Because when you start to sit still with yourself, that's when things starts to come up. And it's natural to feel like, oh shit, I don't want this, and I'm just gonna go on and do something else. But when you gradually do these things and then you kind of sit for longer, then you go a little bit deeper and then things start to happen and you get into these kind of altered states. And that's when the real adventure begins, because suddenly you have this internal world that is completely new and nobody else can ever experience it. Nobody else can ever see it. And it's only you. But that world will shape the whole of you. And when you get more familiar on the inside, you get more familiar what you want on the outside also. So I truly believe that meditation is a thing that can kind of reveal and also like cure a lot of problems, because when you sit with it and especially when there comes something negative and you learn to kind of feel it and sit with it and let go and just kind of let go of control, that's where the breakthroughs come. So meditation is the gateway, it's kind of the door to your real self. And it doesn't open at once, at least for me now. It gradually, like the first 6 months, it was just like, okay, I just do it. I just want to know what this practice is. The more you do it, the more you start realizing like, oh, this is how I behave. This is how I'm used to acting because of some beliefs and some habits and stuff like that. And then you can start to change it, because meditation, it's kind of this room where you enter into it, and that's where things have a space to come to your awareness. But if you just keep on running, you keep on watching TV, you keep on just going, you will never find out who you really are. And I understand that for some people it may be scary to even start to get to know themselves, because they are so conditioned to doing what their parents want, or what society wants, or what somebody else wants from them. And when you truly start to get to know yourself and you start to listen to yourself, that's when the external problems starts to reveal themselves, because people don't want you to change, especially those people who benefits from you in any way. And this is the tricky part. But once you get a glimpse of your true self, and the one that you were when you were a kid, and kind of this really authentic version of yourself, it's kind of impossible to shut it down. And then the only option becomes to, okay, keep on getting to know that version of yourself, and starting to put boundaries to other people who want you to stay the same, because that feels safe to them, that feels familiar to them. But it's so rewarding once you start to do things that you want. You start living according to your internal values and what you want to do. It's priceless, because it feels like your life starts again. And it's not supposed to be easy. It's super simple, but it's not supposed to be easy. But it gets better with time. And this is why I've like, meditation has changed my life in a way that it's a tool that always allows me to connect to myself. Even sometimes when I'm acting kind of out of line, I'm acting in a way that doesn't feel like myself. And when I kind of calm down and go to meditate, I start to realize that, oh shit, I was just too focused on the external, and I had like all these emotions going on, and things started to fall apart. That's when I turn inwards and be like, is that really how I want to behave? Is that what my truest self want for my family and for people I love? Most often it's not. And that's when I have to kind of surrender and be like, damn, I messed up again, and now I'm back, and back into this relaxed version of myself. And it has to do with opening your heart, because I truly believe that meditation is the way that you can get into your heart and start living from a place of love and respect and understanding and acceptance. So if you haven't meditated, I highly suggest you try it out. I've made a few meditations, you can check them out here, or then you can just, search on YouTube, just whatever feels right for you, because guided meditations is really a good tool to start with. But quiet meditations are the thing that will really connect to yourself, and you will really find yourself. So I would suggest you do both. But I don't see any negative thing with meditation other than people start being triggered by your new kind of power and your new way of being you. But that's your birthright. It's like, you don't need to please anyone, whatever they say, because it's their point of view. And once you start living from a place of compassion and understanding and love, you don't want to harm anyone, but you don't also want to harm yourself. And once you start loving yourself, you put yourself first and you fill up your own cup. That's when people kind of get revealed of those who want to take advantage of you, and those who just want you to stay the same. And even if they aren't taking advantage of you, they might feel that they're on a higher place in this hierarchy, and if you start growing, then it's like, shit, no, now they feel bad, so they want to keep you there. And it's these weird dynamics happening, and this is life. And especially when I've grown a little bit older, I start to see these patterns, and when I become more self-aware, and you start seeing in other people this weird behavior. But if they also would meditate and kind of get to know themselves, the focus wouldn't be on other people and how they see them or control them or whatever, and they would focus on themselves and their energy and how they want to be in the world. And from a certain point of view, you might think that, yeah, but that's just selfish. You want to meditate and just live your own life. But when you start living your own life from the heart, you naturally step into some kind of service, because you understand that the purpose of your life is not just to enjoy yourself. You also want to give to other people, because that's actually what makes you feel the best. So meditation, it's a super great tool, and there's so many different ways you can use it. I highly suggest you start and do it consistently. And you don't even have to have a certain intention or like really strict result that you want to do or get to. You just start and get to know yourself and see what comes up, and it's gonna evolve to something beautiful. So I hope everyone finds meditation and finds the real beauty of it and the real benefits of it, because it's there. And I was the biggest hater and kind of this anti-meditation person, so I know the whole shift, and I can genuinely say that I was wrong in that sense, and meditation has been super great. And also finding your purpose, because that's what this channel is about. So finding what truly makes you tick, and finding what makes you feel good, and how you can benefit the rest of the world with what you actually like to do. Meditation is such a great tool to find that too. That's gonna be it for this video, and my name is Mitz. Find your future purpose, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Remember to meditate.